Good morning, Aggies and Buckeyes. This is Miss Valadez. I hope you are doing well, you're staying safe, and you're staying healthy. This morning, we're going to talk about homographs. Now, your goal for this lesson is to be able to use the context that's in a sentence to figure out the meaning of an unknown word or phrase. Now, that unknown word or phrase is going to be the actual homograph. The context is going to be the words that are surrounding the homograph. So you may be asking yourself, well, what exactly what exactly are homographs? Homographs are words that are spelled the same, but they have different meanings and different origins. Okay, so they are multiple meaning words that have different meanings and different origins. That means that those words come from different places. So keep in mind, again, a homograph, say it to yourself, write it down on a sheet of paper, stick it in your brain. Homographs are words that are spelled the same, but they have different meanings. Now, let's talk about a hint that's going to help you understand homographs. And this is super, super important because it will definitely help you determine the meaning of a homograph in a sentence. So here's my little hint to you. You are going to want to pay close attention to the context and the role that the word plays in the sentence. Okay, so if you have a homograph, a word that is spelled the same, but it has different meanings, you're going to pay attention to the context. The context has to do with the words that are surrounding the homograph. Okay? Now, let's take a look at some examples. Now, you'll see to the left of your chart, that's the context, and the homograph is in pink. Over to the right is where we are going to put the meaning of the homograph. Again, that's the word in pink. Everything else that's in black is going to be the context. And remember, I said you have to pay attention to the context of the sentence to figure out the homograph. Whew, that's a lot. Let's try it out. At 15, Johnny had grown so tall that when he stretched out in bed at night, his head hung out the front door. Now remember from yesterday, we were working on visualizing things in our head, and we've actually been doing it for 2 weeks now. Okay, so you can understand a text by visualizing. Now, put this picture in your head. We have Johnny. He's 15. He's so tall that when he lays in bed at night, his head hangs out the front door. Now, we know his head doesn't actually hang out the front door. That's an example of a hyperbole. But the author is telling you that his head hung out the front door. What would the meaning of the word head be in that sentence? Hit the pause button now to think. Think about the context that surrounds the word. When you're ready, come back to the video so we can write the meaning in. All right, I'm hoping that you noticed the words tall that are in there, the word stretched, and you put that picture in your head, and you were able to tell that the actual meaning of the homograph head means the actual, physical part of one's body. And in this case, that person's body just happens to be Johnny. So we're talking about the head that is on Johnny's shoulders. Awesome. Good job, guys. Let's look at our second example. Now, this example is really great because it also uses the word head in the sentence. Now, pay attention again to the context that's surrounding the word head. We began to head west, but it wasn't long until Johnny hollered for everyone to stop. So we are again looking at the homograph head, and if you remember, homograph, it's a multiple meaning word. However, it has a different meaning. Now, look at this context that's around the sentence. Hit the pause button to see if you can figure out the word head. Think about if it could be the actual physical part of your body or if it means something else. Hit the pause button, and when you're ready to come back to the lesson, hit the play button. You're right. That word head is completely different from the actual physical part of your body. Now look at the words that are surrounding the word head. It says, we began to head west. Now, if you remember, in the story, the Caw family decides they want to move because they need more room for Johnny because he's so large. So if you decided that the word head means to travel in another direction, you are absolutely correct. To travel in a certain direction. Good job, guys. Now let's take a look at one more example. And that sentence is, he was building the biggest bonfires you've ever seen. Now, when I think of the word building, two definitions or two meanings pop into my head. One is an actual building, kind of like the building of Harvest Hill that we attend school in. But I also think of the word building like when we construct things with Legos, or we put things together. Now, knowing those two meanings, I want you to hit the pause button and come back to me when you're ready to help me put the meaning of the word building into the chart. Great. I'm glad that you have seen the context around the sentence has to do with someone building an actual thing, right? Not an actual building like Harvest Hill, but we're actually talking about the construction of something. Now it's kind of like they are building the new middle school building at Harvest Hill, right? They are constructing the actual middle school building. Great job, guys. Now, your turn is going to be to head to Google Classroom to complete the assignment that's titled Unit 5, Week 2, Homographs. You're going to be doing the same thing that we did in the example section of this lesson with different words. Now, remember again, homographs, remember homographs sorry guys, had to get the baby. Woo. Homographs are words that are spelled the same but have different meanings and different origins. And don't forget my little hint. Pay attention to the context that surrounds the homograph so you can decide what the word actually means. All right, guys, head over to Google Classroom now to complete your assignment. I'll talk to you and I'll see you soon.